And we're back.
Yeah, that's something that we're looking forward to. So have more resource for, like that video. It'd be perfect for your friends that don't understand what LARP is, or they're curious, or wanting to, just simply get them in tuned and kind of get them to understand what you're talking about when you're trying to get them to come to our events or any event, period.
Yeah, just starting at a very ground level kind of explanation of what the heck is this, four-letter, what would you call it, acronym?
Yeah, so we're not only that, but we're going to post a lot more stuff. We're going to try to give a lot more resource out there, interesting things for people to see, you guys to use, and have your friends use, such as like we were talking about there, gear and stuff like that. We're thinking about moving into showing how to create some simple LARP weapons, simple items, simple gear. As you know, we make a lot of like our costuming. Anybody who was at our last event, the Calathiel, which you can go to our Facebook page and see those pictures. It's the dude with the white hair. It's actually played by this guy. That costume,
what?
Yeah.
He got sucked into a portal of doom.
Yeah, but it has the costumes was actually homemade. So we might show how to make some of that stuff, like leather, fabric, all of that, because it's not as hard as you think. Stuff like that looks intimidating, but once you get down to it and you just have a little bit extra time, you can create a lot of good-looking equipment.
Dragon eggs are tough, though. That's
yeah. Just avoid dragon eggs.
Just stay away.
Especially because you get a dragon all ticked off.
Yeah,
that's a problem.
So anyway, we hope you guys enjoyed that. Keep an eye out for more. We will be releasing them. We want to release our first couple of videos as sort of like a suite, so that way we're not stringing people along too far out. We want to kind of have a bulk of them to release initially. That's why that one isn't out, or at least I don't believe it's out.
No, you guys just got to see the first rendition of it being posted.
So yes, we says that it knowing how to make spell packets would have been nice before you started. So
there you go.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of this sort of stuff. At the end of the day, like we said, it's not only for us and for our community, but to get people excited about LARPing in general. And the more the community grows, the more we have opportunities to interact with great individuals. I mean, so much of our people who have come to there are not just friends or friends of friends, but people who have friends of friends of friends, and they have brought some unique perspectives and some great role play to our game. And we want to continue that growth because if it's just relying on the people I know and work with, it's going to be pretty small forever.
Yeah. And that's something, as we've spoken before, we're looking to expand outward, so having a bigger presence, and everything can do nothing but improve what's already existed. That improves your guys' play, your guys' world, exponentially. And that's what ultimately we have a passion for it. We have a love for it. And where we get our fun is seeing you guys have a blast. That's probably the most important thing about being a staff member or being anybody that's involved in Warriors of Light is having fun producing something that people are having fun with. So if you get your enjoyment for that, definitely that's where staff, would be good for you. But yeah, for sure. This, we have a passion for you guys. We have a passion for, the story, the immersion, the sandbox, the crafting, all of it, but it all boils down to your guys' experience and you guys having the best time possible. And that's what we want, ultimately. So your feedback, your comments, your questions, your thoughts are always welcome because it's the tools we use to cultivate the future.
Wow, that's hard to pick up from.
I should have had a little, somebody put a soapbox here.
So, that's pretty much
right, we got a mic somewhere.
That would be really loud on the live stream.
Yeah. That's another thing, guys. If you have any questions about anything we talked about in this video, now's the time to ask us because this is quick Q&A point. So if you have any questions at all, we're going to give you a few minutes to kind of post them. So
I don't know if it's quite an Ask Me Anything, but we'll try to do our best.
Ask me anything.
You can ask me anything.
I have a magic 8-ball here too with the shake and bake. What was that? Yep. It says yeah.
So what did you guys think about the video, for instance? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Those two buffoons on there, were you like, man, You guys need to hire some better actors.
Right.
I mean, what do you think? Did you like it? You know,
All the above.
Justine says, "What's your favorite color?"
Who are you asking?
More people here today. There's 4 of us.
Well, I think we have to collectively.
Okay.
so brown.
Yeah.
So brown collectively, if we mix them all together.
A very dark brown.
You might almost call it, a certain color brown.
But yeah, so as far as, anything that you guys are interested in playing, like hearing feedback of you guys, and now, that's one thing was we like to hear the good things too, in your guys' comments or anything about our world too, because, we also like to know where we're doing well. So that's
what you'd like to see more of.
Yes. What struck you? What is your interest? What is like, man, that whole scenario, the way that mod was run, or the way this. What do I mean by mod is it's any kind of like interaction with an NPC, whether that be violent or non-violent, is considered a mod. It's a modular construction that allows us to run a scenario to where you're fighting or whatever. But what if certain mechanics of the game that you just find that you're interested in, or you have suggestions about, we want all that.
Well, like Clay said, there and to add to it, there's 2 types of ways we can receive information as feedback from players. One is what you hated, and one is what you loved. It seems we get one, usually more often than the other, because sometimes some things are glaring and people are like, yes, this needs to change, and that's definitely good, because then we look at it and we go, oh yeah, that's pretty bad. Let's hammer that out. But then the positive stuff does twofold for us. One, it allows us to know, or it helps us to know what we're doing right, so that way we can be like, yes, this is great, so we're going to make this as great as possible. And then also, it is the wind beneath our wings, because it helps us to know, hey, somebody's enjoying this. And to go back to the earlier point of, we're all passionate about this, and we're passionate. We get our joy from knowing that we're bringing, joy and immersion and all these great, wonderful things, to our players. That's where we get a lot of our kicks. Yeah. So, knowing
that's our
what
payment.
we've done right.
Yeah,
again,
it is.
No one here from what you guys put into the events goes to us. It either goes to reinvestment in the LARP, reinvestment in our cooking staff so that they can bring you better food products, or just to cover expenses.
Yeah, and that's things like what he was saying.
So, Flint said that he likes that every encounter doesn't always end in fighting to the death. Yeah.
No, and I'm glad you say that. That is, a big thing we're trying to make sure that is existent. That everything you come to, this is a point where we really work for, is every situation doesn't have to end a certain way, because we want it to be a living, breathing world, and in a living, breathing world, you have choices. You have different outcomes based upon the decisions and the things you decide to move forward in or back away from. So, and not only that, but some situations might not have had an A and B situation. It could be C, D, E, F, and G. So whatever you guys do, that's the cool thing about a free-form world, is it doesn't just have to be, all right, we're going to go here and kill these guys. It could, as you guys know, a little thing can easily turn into a big thing because you explored it. So, not to say that everything is huge, but there's always good, fun things in everything. So that's a huge part of the thing. Oh, and your suggestions and comments, like we were talking about earlier, don't think that we overlook them or anything. We meet every Monday night for...
At least.
Yes. And then we also meet on Fridays, regularly. And so that's twice a week we get together. And anytime you guys have a comment...
Or Sundays.
Yeah, we meet...
Sundays? Wow.
So we meet all the time online to discuss everything, suggestions you guys bring up. Sometimes we don't necessarily take them, but if there's a suggestion or comment, even though we think an area is good and flushed out, we always try to revisit it. We'll pull it up, look at it, and go, okay, this was suggested. Let's look at our system again, see if this is implementable. How does it fit, and can we work closer to this, or is this already existent? So don't think that anything you guys give us or suggestions are overlooked. We take all of that information because we're trying to make the best thing possible.
And with that too, don't take offense that we're not going to give you a response right away either. Like he said, we meet, we talk, we as a team realize that we are better as a team and as a collective than any one person making a decision.
Yeah.
And alongside of that, we also take and don't have the opportunity sometimes to respond to everyone with like, oh, this is the way we decided to go.
Yeah.
And sometimes we're taking a lot of time. Things like crafting, for instance, we're like, okay, we're going to switch this and see how it goes, and we'll switch this and see how it goes, and then we're able to give you a more finalized answer than like, well, we're going to tell them this. It may take a whole year for us to test and manipulate things before we can give you a finalized answer, because we don't want to either get your hopes up or to dastard you from feeling like it's worth commenting to us, because it absolutely is.
Yeah, because that's the thing about our world, is it's in a constantly evolving world, not just in the setting itself, but also in our rules and set. You know, we're still in development in a sense. You know, we have a very well working oiled machine. You know, everything right now works very well, but we're always looking to improve and to, you know, finalize and to, you know, bring down to it, you know, as much of a polished gem as we can have. Because the better product we have for you guys, the more fun you're going to have, because it's going to be easier for us to provide that fun. So yeah, every little comment, everything like that is so good, and you know, we need that. Best way to do it is not at the event. If you find something, write it down or something, and then email it to us afterwards. Because at an event, we don't always remember.
Well,
there's so much going on that, you know, you can't retain everything that somebody has suggested or whatever. So the best way to do it is like email us, because we go through those emails at our staff meetings to work that stuff in.
Yeah.
So.
And we're a little bit pansies
Yeah.
as well, because sometimes, like, if somebody has came to me before and it's like, they'll be like, I hate this, you know, I hate this thing, and I'm like, okay, I worked 20 hours on that, but okay, glad you hate it, let's take it out.
Your input
you
is very valuable.
So, yeah, at the event, and then trying to get back into the mindset of, okay, you know, you gotta keep on task, but they hate everything. Not to say that we're overly sensitive about it, but yeah, I mean, the best time is to let us know between, because yeah, that's when we're actually like, okay, back to work, you know, work on making everything right for the next event. That would be
And when you're like, hey, I think it should be lowered by 1 minute, I'm going, okay, lowered by 1 minute, got it, I'll remember that. And then I'm like, and I have to do 3 damage in this monster, and then I evolve into the orange one that's going to do 6 damage, and what was that minute thing?
Yeah.
Something about a minute. Oh, I can cast that every 1 minute. Got it.
Yeah. And a lot of it, like, the game is, you know, sometimes, like, certain mechanic changes aren't just as simple as being like, oh, like he was talking about crafting times, or the amount of resource. Let's say if we change, say in a crafting situation especially, if we change like one resource from you have to collect 5, now you have to collect 4, that changes, like, mathematically, Mark especially, it's his area. He has to go through and readjust everything that touches. That readjusts. That could potentially readjust pricing in the inn for your drinks.
Yeah.
So it's not,
and the same thing with, like, say a power deals a condition to somebody.
Yeah.
Well, we have systematically set up when conditions can be thrown and when conditions can be countered.
Yeah.
So if one condition has to be moved up or down, like in the level scale, or removed from a class or added, we've got to take that into account for everywhere.
Systematically through the rest of the book.
Which, you know, that's just how the nature of the beast. It's, you know, pretty much always going to be that way, because it's all intricate and balanced and whatnot.
Yeah.
But
Especially the farther we go, you'll see, because, you know, things are getting more and more tightened in. So if you have a suggestion and you don't see the results of it right away, it's probably because it probably has a lot.
We got some work to do.
There's a lot of waves in that pool.
Well, rest assured, it is taken into account.
Absolutely, it is. It's very valuable to us. Your opinions, your praise, and your thoughts and comments are always, you know, that's our driving blood of, you know, producing us towards perfection and giving us what we need as far as, you know, our enjoyment to provide great time for you guys.
Well, we've talked a lot.
Yeah.
Has
Is there any questions or anything?
No?
Duck Dodgers. Somebody said Duck Dodgers.
Who's got Splint's name?
Oh,
No.
Dodge it, Duck.
Well, you know what? Orange.
Black.
Purple.
Black.
2 blacks.
Is that what happened?
Wow,
I think the computer just went to
Exactly.
sleep.
The computer went to sleep.
That's
funny. So I always thought it's voice activated or something.
Well, you want to close this?
all right. Well, that's pretty much all of the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us once again. And remember, be the adventurer.
Mark, it's awkward.